Follow us on social media, Twitter and Instagram. Subscribe on YouTube. Don't forget to like. So I wanted to go over a lot of the different designs created by the fans for the upcoming Nosferatu 2024 film release. If you're watching this video on YouTube, I'm also going to post the same video on Twitter. So if you want to go to the thread and follow any of these artists or designers or illustrators, you can go to this thread. Or if you're watching this on Twitter, there will be a thread including all the artists that are mentioned in this video. So if you want to go and follow them, the source is right here. You can find all these designers and illustrators within this thread. If you're on YouTube or Rumble or wherever else I post this, just follow the link in the description below to find us, and you can follow any one of us if you're a fan of the work. This is official here, all right? I'm not making this up. Trust me, believe me. Source is trust me, bro. The official Japanese poster is designed by yours truly. Anyways, yeah, so this is my design for the upcoming Nosferatu poster. I wanted to get a little bit more of that Japanese style. They really take the color palettes and play around with these retro posters. But anyways, yeah, that's my design for the Nosferatu film. Since there's no Japanese representation here, I thought I'd go ahead and be the guy to put us on the radar for Japan. Anyways, let's move on to the official posters that I wanted to share with you guys from the other designers and illustrators on Twitter. Okay, so the first one is from Kin Posters on Twitter, at Kin Posters, K-Y-N Posters. This one I like. It's very simple. I love that the Nosferatu font is in red too. It's got like a nice pop to it against the monochromatic background. Layla Rose Debt here photographed. I think this picture's from IMDb, because I think this is the only place where I saw that picture. Only she is against a backdrop of some building. So the pen or the pathing work here that was done to make her look like she's in a dark room is actually really, really good. So shout out to Kin Posters for this design. This one here at Jorge Teles 31 on Twitter. I really like the simple oval frame here. We also have the Nosferatu emblem in the back. Also the official stamp here, the Nosferatu, the stamp of the seal with the credits for Robert Eggers. That's very cool. It looks here, there's a tagline here. Does evil come from within us or beyond? That's very cool. But yeah, so that's from at Jorge Teles Art 31. Very cool, Jorge. This next one I really like. This is from at CN Tario Gothic on Twitter. This one has a very nostalgic VHS design and aesthetic to it. I love how there's the stickers. Back when we would go to the Blockbuster, new arrival, horror. I always love to how there's attention to detail. Like we got the cross on the top of the VHS, that side frame. And then here, there's always like the featured images from the film, restricted, rated R, 50-cent charge if tape is not rewound. Oh man, that is such a good attention to detail there. The summary here, a gothic tale of obsession between a haunted young woman and a terrifying vampire infatuated with her, causing untold horror in its wake. So that one's really good. Here, SG_posters on Twitter. I love how this design is so simple, but it's so effective because you got the nostalgic or the iconic front fangs from Nosferatu. Although, as I have said in other Nosferatu videos over the past week, the front fangs are a little goofy, so I hope we get a little bit of a different design for his fangs in the film. But nevertheless, it is a very iconic fang design that is very much, it belongs to Nosferatu. So I do like how we do have Nosferatu here in the silhouette of the fangs. And of course we got our credits here and Nosferatu. Very cool. Sick poster at SG_posters. This one we got from Peter Strain. This is just an illustration, not really a poster, but it looks really good. I love we got these plague rats creating the silhouette of Nosferatu here himself, but the illustration on these plague rats is really good. And we have here Lily Rose Debt succumbing to the darkness, but this is a very good illustration as well, very well rendered. Here at Soren_Illy_ on Twitter. Wow, the illustration here is pretty amazing. The vampire here looks more like Dracula. That's why I was thinking Dracula, but it looks a little more like Dracula face in my opinion. But Nosferatu is basically a ripoff of Dracula, so I can't hate on the design of our vampire here looking like Dracula when that is kind of the source material. And I do love how we have this kind of illustrated banner. We have these kind of occult-like gatekeepers and the castle within the clouds inside it. It's really well done. It's the rendering here with this classic illustration style is very well done. So shout out to Soren Illy on Twitter. Next we have Alex Phoenix. So at Alex Phoenix on Twitter. This one's really cool too because I believe this is a still from also IMDb. And there's a lot of Photoshop work here done. We got the hand kind of casted over Ellen's face. And Ellen, I believe in this original photo, obviously a lot of Photoshop work done because her eyes are kind of whited out, giving her that hollow, kind of a soul-possessed look. We got a different font here, but it still has that gothic old English look to it, which is really nice, very nice touch. We have the emblem. I really am curious to what this emblem is going to symbolize. What's the history of this emblem going to be in the film? The seal. From Creepy Duck Design at Creepy Duck Art on Twitter. This one's actually very similar to mine. We have Nosferatu at the top looking over Ellen and Thomas Hutter. And in this one, it's Thomas Hutter on his way to the castle. We actually have the castle and the beach cemetery here off to the side. Very cool attention to detail. But yeah, so this one's basically a more monochromatic version of mine. Another one from Creepy Duck Design. This is kind of similar to one we saw earlier, where the fangs were creating the silhouette of Nosferatu's body. Only in this one, it's a pair of hands, and it has a very old school texture with like an aged texture to the poster. So very cool. Creepy Duck comes in with 2 posters. This one from Haley Turnbell on Twitter at The Scarlet Woman. This one's very cool. It's very simple. It's kind of the reverse of the first one we were looking at, only the Nosferatu typeface is in a very cream color with Lily Rose Debt in this bleeding blood red background. But wow, this poster is very cool. I like it because it's kind of something you would almost hang in your room. I mean, all of these are, but this is one I feel like I would personally like to have as a print in my room. So the next one here, at Joseph_K_R. This is a vector illustration, very well rendered. Doing vector illustrations like this is very tedious. I do like how the hand is also kind of penetrating through the typeface here, but this is a very good rendering. Next here we have at Rico Jr. Crea. I really love this poster design because you got here Nosferatu's face in the shadow of Lily Rose Debt, or of Helen, sorry. It seems very fitting too because he's kind of lurking within the shadows of her life, basically. Narratively, she's, his shadow is cast on her life narratively. So it's kind of very fitting that he is also casted here in the shadow of her face. So there's good storytelling just within this poster design. The last one here we have at Retro Reminiscer on Twitter. This one looks like it was painted kind of by hand. I don't know if it's a filter he used with a paintbrush, or if you painted this and then scanned it and maybe brought it in to put in the rest of the digital text. But the rendering here is pretty amazing. I was gonna say a lot of posters have been cursed by that, I guess, the old school, like you had the Star Wars posters or the Marvel posters where all of the characters are kind of squeezed into one poster. We kind of have that going on with this one here, but at least on this one, there is a nice hierarchy of the importance of characters because Ellen is obviously going to be a much bigger character in this version of Nosferatu than in the previous versions. Not that Ellen wasn't a main character before, but it seems like we're going to get much more narrative information on Ellen's character. So for her to be kind of a centerpiece here and still Nosferatu very much in the background being this intimidating presence is very cool. So the rendering here is really well done. Anyways, those are the official posters by the fans for Nosferatu. I'm really looking forward to watching the film. And again, if you enjoyed any of the pieces of art here created by myself or the other designers and illustrators, on Twitter will be the thread where you can find everybody if you want to follow them and see their future work. But that's it for this video. If you guys want to go ahead and let me know in the comments below or in the thread below whose poster is your favorite design. And yeah, we'll see. You see you guys in the next video. And I'm looking forward to the 2024 version of Nosferatu. If you haven't already, on the YouTube channel, I have reviewed some of the previous versions of the Nosferatu films, the 1922 version, the 1979 version, and the version that came out last year, the 2023 version, which is kind of a shot-for-shot remake of the 1922. It's pretty interesting. Anyways, that's it for here, guys. Follow us on Twitter at ghettoplex_mp4, on Instagram at ghettoplex.mp4, and subscribe to us on YouTube at Ghettoplex.